Right, just to go through in detail the stuff that's available for sale here, basically all of my Walkera stuff. Starting with the M120, you'll see I've got the full box and manual and shipping contents for it. So that's the M120 as described in my first post, with my custom head set up on it, set up with the woodies, and set up with a wolf gear, if you can see that back there inside for the tail, so it won't strip. Also, as detailed in the post, all of the assorted spare parts and canopy, etc., etc. Moving on, we've got the custom case that I had made that can carry 2 helis. The M120 is a bit of a tight fit in there, so I've got my converted, modified V120 with my custom head set up on there, and the 4G6 flybarred 2-cell setup. There's room for some spare blades to carry out to the field with you. The 2801 transmitter with the nice strap holder or device here that you attach the strap to so it balances well. And I'm not including the tools back there, but that's where you would put your tools. And there's a piece of foam here, the egg crate type foam, that goes back here to hold everything in place when you close the case. It's a very nice case, aluminum look, and quite rugged. It's just whether or not the buyer is willing to pay the shipping, which I'm sure is going to be quite substantial for something that big, but whatever. Anyhow, as far as the parts go, there's a tremendous number of new parts, starting with a bunch of feathering shafts, gear sets, assorted parts, a pinion, tail boom holder, tail struts, tail drive shaft is there. Then there's a whole bunch of other brand new and packaged tail booms, and the drive shafts for it, main shafts, brand new V120 style grips, V120 tail blades, links. I've got 3 never used, still in package tail servos. We know how fast those things go. I've got also a couple of Blue Arrow servos that I never got around to trying out or installing, to use those on the tail. Then the whack load, the mother load of all the parts. There's literally thousands of dollars of stuff here. We've got a whole bunch of blade grips, swash plates, links, mixer arms, assembly. This is my best known head setup for if you want to go back to a flybarred setup. This was running perfectly well and true. Another plastic head assembly, untold number of swash plates and links and fasteners, etc. This is another very good working head setup. This is all my assorted tail parts, different tail blades, pitch sliders, tail shafts, etc., etc. for the tail. What we've got here is a whack load of servos that are in various states of disrepair, so I use those for spares. Whenever you strip a gear, you open up an old servo and see if you can use another. And a bunch of different bearings. The bag for the Castle ESC, that's in the 2-cell setup. The Castle ESC itself is a $50 or $60 item, and it's a very nice ESC that you can actually set up in governor mode if you'd like to try that, or just use for an amazing 2-cell setup. Some extra gears, some landing gears. There's one that's still new in package over there, a couple of canopies, some carbon fiber blades that I've balanced and work really well, 11 sets of foam blades, all new in package, another set of woodies, I've got my custom swash leveling tool that I had made before the Extreme version had come out. This one here fits perfectly over the shaft and is very rigid, unlike some reports I've heard of the Extreme one that arrives already partially damaged or tweaked because it's flimsy. These are some custom heads that I had gone through different trials of. This was my first version, all plastic, fly barless head that can work on the V120 or the M120. This is very smooth operator, and I had made another one over here that's kind of a spare. The next iteration is I went to a metal version. This is the Stay True head from Wow Hobbies that I filled with epoxy and can be swapped out for this kind of a configuration. And this is the prototype first iteration of my custom head setup for the M120, and this one is perfectly good. It's just was my first shot at it, so functionally it works just as well as the others, just not as cosmetically polished, let's say, as the other ones I made. And there's just a flybarred head set up. So that's basically everything that I've got being offered all together.